Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the events leading to the First World War, Part 2, Anglo-Russian Agreement. There are going to be three parts of today's video: relations between Britain and Russia, Russian threat to Britain, last difference between the two nations, and the resolution. So, let's get started. Relations between Britain and Russia. For today's video, let us understand the relations between these two countries into two time scales: before 1905 and after 1905. Before 1905, British viewed Russia as a corrupt, anti-democratic, and an autocratic government. Even the Russians had cold feelings towards the British. After 1905, Britain began to feel disposed towards the new Tsarist regime. Even Russia wanted to end the long rivalry between the two nations to attract foreign investment from Britain to put forward their Industrial Revolution program. Before 1905, both Britain and Russia were hostile nations. The relations between these two countries were mainly strained due to the Crimean War of 1850. The Crimean War was fought between Russia and an alliance of Britain, France, Ottoman Turkey, and Sardinia Piedmont. Ultimately, the alliance won. As a result, the relations between these countries were ever strained. Since 1815s, there had been an ideological Cold War between conservationist Russia and liberal Britain. Even in international affairs, both these countries were always on opposite sides. For example, the British helped Hungarians to revolt against Austria. On the other hand, the Russians helped Austria to brutally suppress the revolt. Britain had also encouraged revolutionary movements in France and Belgium. On the other hand, Russia deplored these developments in each case. After 1905, the relations between these two countries improved significantly. The most important improvement was the Russian support to France and Britain during the First Moroccan crisis against Germany. Britain now supported the new Tsarist government, which was subject to a constitution, and a parliament was present, which promoted the bilateral relations between the two countries. Russian threat to Britain. The Russians posed a threat to the British as they had been increasing their influence over the regions present under the English East India Company. This threat was smartly eliminated by the British. Britain signed the Anglo Japanese alliance in 1902. In 1905, there was the First Russo Japanese War. Due to the war, the Russian economy was in crumbles and required British investment to help it stabilize. The large difference between the two nations and the resolution. After Britain eliminated the Russian threat, the relations between the two nations improved significantly. The only source of conflict now was the regions of Persia, Tibet, and Afghanistan. The Germans wanted to connect Berlin to Baghdad via a railroad. This alarmed the British as well as the Russians. In retaliation, Britain and Russia signed the Anglo-Russian Convention in 1907 to outflank the German developments in the region. As per the agreement, Britain promised to stay out of northern part of Prussia, whereas Russians recognized the British influence over the southern part. Russia even agreed to stay out of Tibet and Afghanistan in exchange for political support on international matters and loans from the British to support their Industrial Revolution program. This agreement was divided into three parts, each for Persia, Afghanistan, and Tibet. Persia. In 1901, Russia opened two consulates in Persia to invest in the Persian railways. The two countries shared a long border of over 2,000 kilometers, hence, Persia was an important export market for Russia. The agreement divided Persia into three zones: a large zone to the north under the influence of Russia, two small neutral zones in the middle, and a big zone in the south which was under the British influence. Afghanistan. This was the area over which there had been the longest disagreement between Russia and Britain. For Britain, Afghanistan signified access to India. The Russians were conscious of the British sensitiveness to any country bordering India. Russians had already built a railway line network along the border of Afghanistan. Britain feared that Russia would attack Afghanistan and gain access to India, hence they began stationing their troops. Britain did not want to wage a war with Russia over Afghanistan as it would cost them a fortune. Finally, the agreement of Afghanistan was a concession by Russia, recognizing Afghanistan outside the sphere of Russian influence. Regarding Tibet, both the countries agreed to conduct their business through China and keep it outside their colonial ambitions. How did the convention lead to the First World War? This convention led to the formation of the Triple Entente, increased tensions between Germany and Russia, led to a series of small conflicts all over the control of colonies, ultimately leading to a war to end all wars, that is, the First World War. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I've linked the presentation in the description below. See you guys in the next video. Jai Hind.